She went to make comments. You look at my.
All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, please let me know you are here. If you don't answer, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Joshua Anzadua, custody. John Robinson, thank you. Jose Ledesma. Noah Gonzalez. Julio Smith, custody.
Your Honor, Stephanie Stevens and I entered as a penitent counsel on Friday, and I would like to approach the bench.
All right, thank you. Dino Acosta.
He's on group.
All right, thank you. Michael Oyui. I'm sorry, one day I'm going to get your name correct.
Yeah.
Gabriel Gobert. Hoang custody. Monique Alvarado custody. Adrian Perez custody. Nathan Montoya, Raul Juarez, Diamond Garcia, Ricky Pardo, Jesus Trevino, Christopher Andrade, custody. Eric Lee Cooper.
Present.
Oh, where's he?
Custody.
Oh, it shows up custody. Okay. Joshua Patillo, custody. Bradley Galvan. Anthony Cochran.
Your Honor.
Celeste Bell. All right, thank you. Samuel Albert, custody. Chaz Reed, custody.
Present, Judge.
Thank you. Raul Norris. Tamar McIntyre, custody. And that is at 10:30. John Anthony Martinez. Jose Monjares, Andrew Moody, custody. Jacob Rodriguez. David Quiones, custody. Guillermo Camacho, custody. Priscilla Batias, Noah Gonzalez, custody. Is there anyone who's present and your name was not called or you came in late? Yes, what's your name?
Lawrence.
I'm sorry, what?
Lawrence.
Vincent Lawrence. Do you know who your attorney is?
Cool. But I'm here voluntarily.
All right, just give us a moment and we're going to try to get your attorney to come in as well. I'm sorry, what? Oh, no, there'll be no feather ruffling in here. Everybody here is a professional. Nobody takes anything as a personal attack. Well, maybe they will if it's personal, but usually these are business transactions, so it'll be just fine.
I called the number 27, 25, 37. Then you put on there.
All right.
That's all.
All right, so here's the thing. When clients come in, I like for their attorney to be here because sometimes clients want to say things to me that maybe their attorneys don't want them to say to me. So what I can tell you, if you're here to speak to me about the facts of your case, are you on probation? All right, so we're going to find out if you're here on probation. If you're here on probation and it's not about a motion to revoke, then it would be in your best interest, to speak with me. But if it's about something that is the facts of your case. All right. All right. Is this for you to attend a job interview? Okay, your attorney filed that motion. Just give me a moment. I'm going to take care of that. Okay. See, sometimes your attorneys are moving in the background and people don't know what's happening. Just because they don't talk to you every day doesn't mean that they're not handling things. Now, sometimes I would have to tell my clients, hey, do you want me to talk to you every day or you want me to work on your case? All right, so just have a seat. I'll get with you, okay? All right. All right, everyone, here are the rules of the court. If you have somebody who's in custody, they need to be brought out, request it from the deputy. Once you requested your client from the deputy, please do not leave because there's a limited number of deputies and for security reasons, they can only have so many inmates in the box. If your client wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, yes, we need an interpreter. Please don't come before me and say, oh, it's just a reset. No, we need an interpreter. And you really don't know if it's just a reset unless I say it's a reset. The other thing, the coordinator cannot excuse you. Your case is not over till it's over. If you are planning to leave to go to another court, approach the coordinator and I'll let you know what time you need to be back here because we are taking our lunch break at noon. We're not taking it at 12:01, 12:02. It's going to be at noon. So do not rush the court at 11:55 and think that things are going to happen. The other thing, court reporters to my left. If you have an inmate who is in the box, please do not talk behind the court reporter when we're on the record. All you need to do is raise your hand and the deputy will move you and your client down to the other end. And when we're on the record, please whisper. Whisper as though you are a spy. And if you get caught, there will be deadly consequences for you and your client. So please whisper so that the court reporter can hear and so I can hear what's going on. When we're on the record, please do not approach the court coordinator or the clerks because I'm trying to focus 100% on what's happening in front of me. And I know when your client is in front of me, you want me to listen 100% to your arguments. All right. Prosecutors here are with Criminal Trial Division. Over here is Family Violence. Just pull your file, place it. They're going to call you in the order of appearance. Please do not crowd people. People are catching COVID again, and I don't think anybody wants to get COVID. So let's not do that. Do not approach the court unless you've conferred with your client and conferred with the state. It's Monday. It's going to be a great Monday if we treat each other with respect and kindness. I know we all thought we would be retired. We need to realize we're not. So this is where we are. So it's going to be a great Monday. So everyone, please confer. And then Mr. Vincent Lawrence, let me see. State, do y'all know if this is Family Violence or Criminal Trial Division? It's CM 118569.
I can do.
All right, thank you.
118569.
Yes.
In CTD.
All right, CTD. He wants to attend a job conference. Do y'all have any objections or do we need to go on the record?
Joe, can you see the case?
It's CM 118569. And he has documentation of the job interview.
Okay.
And Mr. Lawrence, are you under pretrial services?
Yes.
All right. Do you know who your pretrial officer is?
Amanda S8.
All right. John Kuntz entitled the motion agreed, motion to allow him to attend the job interview. I'm assuming you all have no objections.
So far, no, Judge, I'm pulling up the actual, motion on the audit.
Okay.
Your Honor, but
Yes.
the only possible objection that I can see
Mhm.
is that we would want some sort of assurance that the location where Mr. Lawrence would like to attend this job interview
All right.
is
So,
not a location connected to the complaint.
all right.
That
It's-
As long as we have that, we would have no objections.
Do you know what street is associated with the complainant? Do you know the streets?
Do not know that, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I. I don't know. Oh, we talking about like Chad Reed? You know what the figures for the.
All right. Mr. Lawrence, can you come forward? And Norman, can you look up and see? Oh, just come up. Can you look up and see who his pretrial officer is, please? Hello. Hi. All right. So I see the documentation for your job interview. So this is what you need to remember. One, the address that's on here, that's where you're allowed to go. If you end up, and I know people say, that's so complicated, but you're not allowed to go anywhere else but to that job interview. You understand? So if you stop at HEB along the way or McDonald's along the way, I know people say, what's the big deal? What's going to end up happening is they're going to send me a violation report and we'll have to hear that. Okay.
You won't get.
All right. Well, they're giving you an interview. My mom always told us, if you get the interview, you have the job. So good luck. And if you'll remain, what I'm going to do is have them make a copy of this order for you so you'll have it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And I will, all right, and I'll email. All right, so here's the other thing. There's a violation report I have for you
For what?
for your violation of bond or protective order.
Yeah, I bailed out.
All right, so have a seat. We're gonna wait for your attorney to show up.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right, this has already been addressed.
yeah.
Okay,
I'm on top.
all right, you're good then. That's okay.
And you let Amanda know too. You'll let Amanda, she's gonna be out of the office.
Yeah. No, she emailed her.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the bond condition only states no contact with a gentleman by the name of Denzel Zenon.
Yes.
From that, I don't know whether Mr. Zenon is affiliated with the address where Mr. Lawrence would like to attend this.
All right, Mr. Lawrence, you're not allowed to have contact with the complainant. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Aside from that, that's all. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
I could bring the file down. Good.
Lawrence?
Okay, all right, well, I'll leave it.
Lawrence.
I mean, I'd like to know, but that's mostly like 3 o'clock. Let me bring it up. Yeah. Hot right. No.
Yes,
He needed a copy of the order.
yes, just so he'll have it. Yeah.
She's the only one here, so she's trying to finish logging it in,
Okay.
and then she'll give him the copy.
He's good to go, right, Judge?
Yes. All right, have a good one. Good luck on your interview.
Oh, yeah, I was. All the other stuff are on there. We don't have to bring box out. John Martinez. I mean, he should be ready by.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the violation for it. We're still next year.
So Bashan,
She's on her way.
all right, thank you. Bashan, so I have an email. And you know, we just took the cybersecurity thing. You're not supposed to open everything, which I don't. I just forward it to IT and say, is this legitimate? So here's my question for you. When somebody sends you an email and then they say in all caps, this is a friendly reminder, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And it's highlighted in all yellow saying, complete this survey. Is that a friendly reminder?
No, that's not friendly at all.
I'm like,
No, I'm still not gonna complete the survey.
well, you know what? You do these surveys. You know, like I did a survey saying it's always too hot in this court, but they're like, see you next year for budget. Like, okay. Oh, we've been waiting for light bulbs since over a year. Yeah.
Got some at the house, want to bring them?
Oh, no, here's the thing about that. They don't allow you to do that. Do you know it took 6 months to hang a portrait? And I said, you know what? I'm just going to bring some nails and my hammer from home. And you know what they said? You're not allowed to do that. So we're on the list for light bulbs. They say they can't find any.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. But you know what we could do? We could have a contest to see when light bulbs will come in.
Squares.
All right, so Michael, we must talk about the elephant that's in the room.
Okay.
Saints. I was shocked. And then we have the Cowboys.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
LSU is winning, and I guess it's better to be lucky. You know, I still don't know what's up with our defense.
Here's the deal. The Cowboys learned to play with heart yesterday. That's the important thing.
Yes.
Yes. So. They've
What's
got
the name
it.
of that movie with the baseball where they sing the music, you gotta have heart?
I don't know.
Andrew would know.
I remember the Replacements where Gene Hackman told
No.
Keanu, you got to play with heart.
No, it's a, I remember watching the movie and it was black and white and it was about this guy who was past his prime.
Uh-huh.
And so he ended up disappearing. His wife was like, where he went. He made a deal to be young. I think he was playing with the Yankees or something. And then he ended up coming back to live in our house as a boarder.
Okay.
But they sang that song, You Gotta Have Heart. And I'm trying to figure out, it's gonna come to me. When it comes to me at 2 a.m., I'll call you.
You let me know.
I will.
Awesome, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. All righty.
Jacob Rodriguez?
There is first page in front of That's
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I would map that. I mean, on the team.
Cool, right? I need to know. You found it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. He did that one first. Yes. It'll be, if you let them out today, and when it shows up. You ready to change?
Were you? That was my fault, but yeah, it's clear. Right.
Those extra.
All right, Chaz Reed.
We're ready, Jackie.
All right. State, on this case, did you have a chance to review the PSI report?
At the pretrial service report, yes, Judge, but we're opposed to the PR bond.
Okay, all right, we'll go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 007568, State of Texas versus Chaz Jabbar Reed. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Raymond Saldana,
Defense?
Thomas Beck for Mr. Reed.
And are you Mr. Reed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so defense had requested a PR bond, so the court had a PR bond interview scheduled. That bond interview has been completed. Defense, did you get a chance to review the PR bond report?
I did, Judge.
State, did you have a chance to review the PR bond report? All right, does anyone have any witnesses? Defense?
No.
State?
no, Judge.
All right, so defense, it was your request for a PR bond hearing. The court will hear argument from you, and then I'll hear argument from the state.
Judge, he scored a moderate level. I want to point out, he had probation once before and he made his probation. He's had the same job for like 16 years and his job's waiting for him. I just think it's appropriate for a PR bond, and it's set at 5,000 is my understanding.
All right, state.
Judge, we would oppose the PR bond. We believe that his criminal history, he is a danger to the community. He has been convicted of a sex assault felony. He also has been convicted of a violation of sex offender in the past. This is his second one, it's prior conviction. It is a second-degree felony. I think 5,000 is the bare bone minimum that we can recommend in this particular kind of offense. I just don't believe a PR bond is appropriate at this time.
All right. Defense, it's your motion, so I'll give you final argument.
Judge, we're set on the 26th, so, give him a chance to prove himself. He'll be right back here Thursday.
All right. So what the court is seeing about the criminal history, and of course, Mr. Reed, criminal history is not the only thing that is considered. I do have to see about protecting the community. What I do see is that you do have a previous violation, but you were placed on probation and you completed that. And then the other violation was rejected for further investigation. And I'm assuming nothing happened with that because it would have been on here that it was refiled. And that was from 2010. And the previous violation that you received probation for was 2012. And I see here that he has some mental health issues. Is that correct?
He seems fine to me, Judge. I saw that on the report.
My understanding that pretrial services judge, as the court knows, was recommending supervision by the special needs unit. So yes.
All right, so then I'll need to hear, well, here's your issue, counsel. All of the references that he's listed, there has been no response. For example, who is he going to be?
I just got all the new numbers. I didn't know that some of them changed.
Okay, so this is what needs to happen then. I need to know where he would be living. I have no idea now because the references that are listed in the PR bond report, it shows that there have been no answers and no message, unable to leave messages. So that's what I would need because there needs to be a place for him to stay. If you want to reset this, counsel, and maybe have those numbers that he says he has, and they can appear by Zoom if there's no objection from the state, and contact them and have them appear by Zoom. But I can't have someone who's charged with violation of sex offender registration. And sir, I don't take any of this as true because I don't have any facts before me. I just have to deal with what it states the charge is, but I can't release you. And I don't have any information of where you would be staying because all of the reference contact you listed, none of them were able to be contacted.
I didn't know my mother had changed her number. She just changed it, her and my sister.
Well, I will tell you what, if
We're
counsel,
set Thursday. Case very well may settle Thursday.
All right, so if y'all want to come back Thursday, or if you would like to see if you can have his family zoom in, you can.
If it doesn't settle Thursday, we're gonna be getting that information to you.
All right, I'll see you all back on Thursday.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is my fault.
Good morning. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? Your client was here.
Oh, no,
Oh, it was Vincent for the job interview, Lawrence Vincent.
Yes,
So that's been taken care of.
okay, I was coming by to talk to you about it.
See, he thought he's like, I didn't know. I'm like, it's already been filed.
Good, wonderful.
So
Thank
he's
you,
on
Judge.
his way to his interview.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad.
Oh, you're welcome.
Wonderful, thank you.
You know, my mom always says, if you are called back for an interview, that means you have the job. So,
Vincent is a very, very nice guy. We really liked him. Unfortunately, though, he's on home arrest and I don't think he has any friends. So he calls our office 6 times a day. You know, I think just to talk to the lovely assistants that I have working with me, you know, sort of thing. So that's it.
Yeah.
Got it. We're working on it. I promise you.
that's what I told him.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Oh, sorry.
Do we know what's going on?
So, talk to
Oh, thanks. Oh, yeah.
Related to. That's my fault. How you doing, man? Okay. Still early. You can change. But what I'm gonna probably have to do when you may photograph for the yeah. So I'm in court tomorrow. Stop by tomorrow. Thank you, man. May have seen, but it's not.
Correct.
Okay, I don't wanna. They can reflect so that way it's not shutting down.
Yes, he's. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, John Martinez. Hello, so what's happening?
I'm filling in for Leo Gonzalez. Just wait for a second. I'm filling in for Leo Gonzalez. He's in trial in Comal today.
What is he
does-
trying?
I'm not sure what they're trying, but he told me they just got a verdict on it, so
Oh.
he should. So I didn't know if the court would allow this case to be reset for later this week so that Leo can come in and handle this with the client.
All right, are you employed?
Yeah.
What is your work schedule?
It varies. I do solar, so.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you recall this in 2 weeks, please.
Yes. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
That's good to see.
Oh, no. Does anybody know the date? See, y'all, it's not August 7th. All right, Mr. Martinez.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No problem. All right, so what's going to end up happening is you're going to come back on October 7th.
October
right.
7th.
And so once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. All right, so just have a seat and they'll get you a reset form.
Good justice. I think it's all good. We're ready to announce on it. Galvon. Yes. Yeah.
Deputy Laura, when you get a chance, can you make an announcement in the hallway for Robert Garza? Bradley Galvon? Hello.
Morning, Judge. How are
Good
you?
morning. All right. So where are we on discovery?
So I believe in discovery, I think we received everything. I have filed a motion to suppress and along with that, a brief in support of. Last time we were here, I discussed how there was possibly a court of criminal appeals that was going to come down in regards to geofence warrants.
Mhm.
During that time, Fifth Circuit actually made a ruling in regards to geofence warrants, and there's an issue in regards to whether geofence warrants are valid warrants.
All right. So if you all want to state, when do you want to set this for a motion to suppress?
Judge, we could just have a month. I think the defense was asking possibly about just a written response.
All right. All right. So here's my other question. Has an offer been tendered?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. They just tendered it in.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a reset for 1 month, please? All right, we're gonna come back on October 24th. That's gonna be your plea deadline date, and also that will be the date we'll hear your motion to suppress.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Over here next to one.
Leo Smith? Mr. Smith, come down. Hello.
Your Honor.
Hi. So where are we on discovery?
We received discovery over the weekend and it is voluminous. And so we have started making our way through it. But none of it has been shown to Mr. Smith yet. We
Okay.
filed on Friday and his prior lawyer had never gone over any of the discovery with him. So we still need to do all of that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, if I can have a 30-day reset, this will be the final setting for discovery. All right, so we'll come back on October 24th. And in this case, are there any videos or something of that nature?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so if you all want to schedule a time, if there's an issue with him viewing videos at the jail, just let us know. All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith, do you have any questions about the process?
Come in.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. We'll talk whenever you get finished with you.
Hey, Judge.
Hello.
So I'm ready on Patillo,
Mhm.
but his sister was gonna give some brief testimony on Zoom. So she just needs a little bit of time for me to tell her, hey, go ahead and get on.
Okay, sure.
And can I go ahead and, okay. Sure, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll set it up on.
I'm sorry, who? I'm sorry, what? Ah, okay. Oh, no problem. Deputy Laura, do you see what page Smith is on? Leo Smith? All right, thank you. Oh, Stephanie, are you all done with Mr. Smith?
Yes, we are.
Oh, no problem.
Let you know.
All right, Deputy Laura, you can take him back.
Medical done to box. If we have medical done. I mean, this is something part of we're all talking about it. Okay. Had a medical evaluation. And on August 29th, he had been told he was gonna go to ISF. He already accepted that. I accepted the J, he'd already had his medical. Already done all of the stuff. He did an interview, accepted all of that stuff. So I don't know.
David, can you want it?
About 8:50. They told me they're ready. I guess. Already done my medical. Get the, probably their rate of something. You're saying they haven't done the medical.
What happened? I know, I was going to.
Yes, yeah, we get whatever, whatever.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, defense. Your witness is on Zoom.
Okay.
And state, do you have the dismissals ready in Mr. Patillo's case?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna leave. Usually. Thanks. I need it to be.
All right, are you all ready on Patillo?
Yes, Judge, we are.
All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2020 CR 2020 CR 9880, 9881, 9882, 9883, 9884, 9885, 9886, 9888, 9889, 9890, 9891, 9892. State of Texas versus Joshua Patillo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Kathy Compton for Mr. Patillo.
All right, if you'll come down, please, sir. And are you Mr. Patel? All right, you entered a plea and several of the cause numbers. And you entered a plea of no contest, and you entered a plea of true to the enhancements. And each of the cause numbers that you pled to, the judge found that there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the judge found the enhancement true. According to the plea bargain agreements in each cause number, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 20 years. The cases were run concurrently. There are no applications, and the state is taking in consideration the following cause numbers: 2020 CR 9887, 9889, 9890, 9891, 9892, JN numbers 198, 1762, 198, 4925. And there's to be restitution, if any, to the complainants and no contact with the complainants. Did everyone have a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No objection, although I would like the court to note that there was an
Just 1 second, I'm sorry. Everyone, y'all need to whisper like you are spies, and if you are heard, There will be deadly consequences for you and your client. All right, you may continue.
I did note in the PSI, Your Honor, that while my client did disclose during the interview with the officer that he had been previously designated as ABT,
Yes.
Aryan Brotherhood, that they also said that he was showing up in text gang as Mexican Mafia. I believe what the confusion is that his father actually, I believe, at some point was designated Mexican Mafia, but my client never has.
All right, and what is his father's name?
Dad's name, Charles Mike, Tillo.
All right.
So it just seemed very odd that he was designated as two things that you normally would not see.
Yes.
As being I don't think those are co-gang memberships.
I
Neither side
wondered
of it.
about that.
Yeah, I don't think those are two flavors that mix in the TDC system. So that, other than that, Your Honor, I didn't have any objection and I don't have any objection to the PSI.
All right, and the court received a supplemental report. I have not reviewed the supplemental report because I wanted to make sure that both parties had received the supplemental.
I have not seen
Yeah,
a supplemental.
All right. It appears to just be one page. As I said, I haven't read it. It was just in the file that was submitted to me with the PSI report. And it's, if you all can review that, and if you have any objections to the court review on that, let me know. Any objections to the court reviewing the supplemental report for the PSI?
No, Your Honor.
All right, just give me a moment. All right. State, do you have any witnesses?
No.
Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe just by agreement, the state has agreed to allow Sarah Patilla to appear via Zoom, and I do see that she is on, so I would like to call her.
And Mr. Patillo, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Can't, because I'm chained up.
That's okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you state your name for the record?
Joshua David Patillo.
All right, do you understand you have a right to have witnesses appear in person? You need to answer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any objections to Sarah Patillo appearing by Zoom?
No, ma'am.
And state, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
In defense, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Patillo, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly
Yes, ma'am.
swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Just make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. If you speak your name for the record.
Sarah Patillo.
All right, defense.
Thank you. Sarah, can you let the judge know how was it when Joshua was living with you previously, and what did you do about the situation when he wasn't doing what he needed to do?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Well, when Joshua was living with me and my mother, we did go through a time when I felt that he could have been doing better. And so I did contact his parole officer at the time to just let him know that we wanted to make sure that Joshua was doing what he was supposed to, because his success is very important to our family and seeing him succeed. And so.
Well, let me stop you and ask you this. If Joshua were able to parole, are you willing to have him parole to your home?
Yes, ma'am.
And if he were to parole, would you have any issue contacting his parole officer again if he was not doing what he needed to do to be successful on parole?
Absolutely not.
So are these conversations that you've had with him as far as what your expectations would be if he were to have another opportunity to come and live with you?
Yes, ma'am. My brother knows that if he did have the opportunity to come and live with me, that he would definitely have to abide by all the rules and stated for whatever he's been given.
And let me ask you, who lives with you in your home now?
My 6-year-old daughter, Amaya Joy Patillo.
And your mother has passed away during the time that your brother's been in custody, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. She passed May 14th, 2023.
And how do you believe that affected your brother as far as his outlook on his future?
I believe that it has affected Joshua greatly. My mother was very close to both of us. But I think it also has given him an outlook to look forward to the future and making better choices. And just living the life that he knows God's calling him to.
And have you seen, you are aware of Joshua's medical diagnoses, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have dealt with his mental health challenges over the years, is that correct as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you see a difference in him that is significant or not since he's been regulated on his medications here?
I do. I have seen a change.
What differences do you see?
I have seen less aggression, and I've seen Joshua progress in his ability to, I think, just handle, this whole situation better than maybe he could before.
And you know that the judge has up to a number of 20 years to sentence Joshua for the cases that we're here on. Why is it that you believe the judge should consider something lower end of that range rather than the 20 years?
I would have to say that my prayer for my brother is that wherever he would be safest and in his sound mind and able to live and function in the way that he was created to would be what I would hope for him. And mercy, sometimes isn't deserved, but is given. And I just believe that whatever's best for Joshua will happen.
And are you aware generally that he was arrested for some pretty serious charges and that affected other people that were just minding their own business, trying to work honest jobs? You're not trying to minimize that to the court, are you? You understand how serious what he did was, don't you?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And do you believe that his ability to be an advocate for himself with regard to his own medications and to be compliant with those medications, is there anything different that you see in him over the last couple of years versus when you were dealing with him in your home before?
Yes, ma'am. Joshua has verbalized to me that he has been functioning better on his medication, and I believe he himself has seen the positive change in himself, and I would hope that he would want to continue that.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, State?
No, say.
And I believe that my client would like to.
All right, I have one question if there are no objections. All right, so Ms. Patilla, thank you so much for coming. I noticed that in the PSI report that he had a difficult childhood. You had a difficult childhood as well. Why do you think that you turned out different as opposed to your brother?
Thank you, Your Honor. Honestly, I too have struggled in many ways, just like my brother. And I gave my life to Christ Jesus and committed my life to him. And since doing that, I have been able to make choices to be a mother and a successful citizen. And I just made a choice, Your Honor, that I didn't want to live that way anymore. And I chose to move away from Houston, where we used to live, and I'm in full-time ministry. And I believe that changing environments, changing the people that I choose to hang around with, finding like-minded people who want to live successful lives, is vital to succeed, especially when you've walked through those arenas of life. And I really can just say that my choice to follow Christ has been the ultimate path to my success.
All right, thank you so much. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses?
Just my client, Your Honor.
All right, you've already been placed under oath. You're still under oath. You may proceed.
So Judge, you heard what your sister said, that the biggest difference for her was changing her life in a profoundly significant way.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell the judge how you believe that you've also had a real change in the way that you view yourself and the way that you view what you would want for your future.
Your Honor, I have also dedicated my life to Christ. I've been taking my medicine ever since you had got it court ordered. I'm learning how to deal with certain situations instead of being aggressive and like doing the things that are wrong. Ma'am, I have also followed my sister's steps, and I look forward to doing ministry with her. It's been a hard road for me, losing my mom last year. But I'm thankful. I'm at the mercy of the courts now. I'm asking for grace.
No.
I love my sister.
Do you also have a child, Joshua?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is her name?
Chelsea Janelle Patillo, but was recently married and she, I don't know her married. I do know it, I just can't pronounce it.
And
Married.
how old is she?
She's 25.
And do you have contact with her as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you feel about the kind of father that you've been to her?
I haven't been the greatest father to her, but, I have made it a vow to God to, be a better grandfather when I have grandkids by my daughter. I also love my sister's children. I pray for them, every day, every night. I'm a praying man now. I'm not the man that these papers say. I can't say anything but, take responsibility as a man and take responsibility for what's going on. I believe the solution is the same thing my sister has said to you, as walking in ministry. My life is no longer the same, man. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for having a sister like that. And I know my mom would have wanted us to stick together like this and go into ministry. That was my mom's biggest prayer. I believe I'm still alive because of my sister and my mother's prayers and my daughter. I chose a wrong road and it leaded me right back to this type of setting. But I ask for forgiveness to the Lord for everything that I did wrong. And I'm at the mercy of the courts, ma'am. And Your Honor, I appreciate your time and consideration on my cases and everything.
That's all I have, Judge.
Any questions?
Sir, you understand that your actions affected a lot of people,
Yes, sir.
and you understand that a lot of them now have the same mental health issues that you went through affected them.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk more about that? What do you think about that?
I've also prayed for the victims in my cases. I don't really know their names or anything, but I have prayed and I've asked God to forgive me for all those. And I do pray for them as individuals that they will receive, grace from God and peace. Ultimately the peace and to restore peace back to them. And I pray for that on a daily basis, sir. And I do feel very remorseful of these situations. I was not on my medications. I was using drugs. And ultimately, I think the drugs, I don't know what happened at different times. But I'm taking responsibility, like you asked me. I'm taking responsibility for praying for those individuals. And ultimately that they forgive me in their journey or walk with God.
But you would understand if they weren't able to forgive you.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else?
Just some brief argument. About it.
All right, I have a question. So I always review the PSI report. And did your client have a chance to review the supplemental?
No, and he has trouble reading sometimes too, Judge, but we have discussed that there were multiple victims in the cases and that there were lots of people that suffered because of the choices that we made. We have had those discussions
All right.
previous to today.
So on page 25 of the PSI report, sir, it states, when asked how he feels about the plea agreement and his upcoming sentencing or punishment, he stated, "I feel that 20 years is a little high. Like I said, no one was hurt." So do you want to address that?
I really can't say on the time because I don't have a right to say that. But on everything, no one did get hurt. And I've never intentionally wanted to hurt anybody. It was a pandemic. I was trying to take care of Mary Elizabeth Thigpen. And I don't know exactly what I did, but I know I didn't hurt nobody. But like I said, I'm at the mercy of the courts and I'm not, I have no right to say how much time.
Well, you do know. See, when you say that no one's been hurt,
Yeah.
sometimes people think Did somebody get shot? Did somebody get stabbed? But there are different types of hurt. Because in the supplemental report, this complainant said they now suffer from PTSD. They stated that they worked at the Walgreens for over 25 years and they love their job. And they are no longer able to do that partially because of your actions. So that's pain, right? That's hurt. Counsel, do you have any concerns on whether or not your client is currently competent?
No, I do believe that he is competent. He's been able to assist me since his medications were ordered by the court and he's been taking them.
Okay. All right, then the court will hear argument. State.
Judge, I think that 20 years is more than fair to the defendant. There have been at least 7 or 8 aggravated robberies that he's playing on, with several that are being taken into consideration here today. There are many victims of his crimes. There are people that are going to live with those scars for years. So the state thinks that it's more than fair that he's not here 20 years.
All right, defense.
Judge, I know that this is one of those cases where the easy call would just be to say 20 years, we're done. However, I am going to ask the court to do what sometimes judges are here to do, and that is to recognize that there is a balance to be struck between a person's actions, the consequences of their actions, and what I believe that Joshua and his sister, more eloquently than I certainly could ask, are asking the court to consider allowing him and, more importantly, his family grace. And I know that you are well aware of all of the shortcomings of the judicial system, the lack of serious mental health intervention. Sometimes when, you know, I really believe that we have so many situations like this where it's too little too late was done, and here we are. I do believe, and I hope that you can see, I certainly do, in his sister and in Joshua, because I've been dealing with him for a long time. And he is a very different person today than the person that I first met.
That's 2020.
Yes, and it's a significant change. I do believe that if he were given an opportunity, and he understands he's got to take responsibility, and he does understand that he is going to prison. But I do believe that there is something to be said for recognizing not just the people he hurt, but the people that hurt him, the people who failed him, and the people who brought him to this place, in addition to his own choices. And so I think that that's where that grace and mercy come in. And it's not anything that anybody ever desires. It is something that is shared with all of us by the creator or higher powers that we choose to see that. And once in a while, it gets spread around when we least expect it. And I think that that kind of mercy and grace can do a lot more good for a lot more people, not just this man standing here before you, but a lot more people than just throwing him back in there for 20 years and crossing our fingers that that's going to fix him, because you and I know it won't. So I'm asking you to give him less than 20. I'm not going to ask you to give a certain number because I trust you to know. But I do believe that this is a situation where some recognition for the changes that he's made and for the sincerity with which he's come and addressed his behavior deserves some grace and mercy, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I want you to know that I've listened to the argument of your counsel, listened to the testimony of your sister. I always go through and reread the plea paperwork I always read the PSI report with a fine tooth comb. And what I want to tell you is I understand that people have mental health issues. I understand that many times there's a lack of services for people who have mental health issues. And nobody keeps track of people with mental health issues. And I know that the reason why this case is old is because one, it's during COVID time. Two, you've been to the state hospital because previously you were declared incompetent and it took a while for you to regain competency. But this is part of my job is to make sure that the community is protected, right? So I have to balance things. I've been a defense attorney, I've been a prosecutor, and I tell you that to let you know, I truly do see both sides, right? I've represented people who have had the charges that you've had, made the argument that your counsel has made, and your counsel has done a very good job for you. But in looking at your history, you've been to prison before for aggravated robbery. And I know from my experience in being a defense attorney that when you're on parole, and this is no knock on parole, but parole sometimes is easier than being on probation. But I do know when you're on parole, they do address any mental health issues you have. They give you case managers. Your sister testified that she called, your parole officer saying, I don't think his medications are correct. So the aggravated robbery that you were paroled on tells me that you knew how to obtain services, right? And sometimes when people are in the throes of a mental health crisis, everything goes out the window as far as where do I go? But then by the same token, you stated, the reason why I committed these aggravated robberies was because I was trying to help the co-defendant. And that's just not the way to go about things. And I understand that any time that people spend in prison, any time that people spend in the Bexar County Jail, even if it's 1 day, 1 hour, that's a lot of time. But in these cases, the court is going to sentence you to the 20 years in each of the cases. You'll receive credit for any time served. That means that you'll receive the credit for the time you spent in the state hospital. That legally counts as time as well. So in the cause number 2020 CR 9880, the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, credit for any time served in inpatient treatment, which is the state hospital. And legally, you're entitled to all of that credit. Counsel, if there's an issue with the credit and you feel it's not the right number, just let the court know and we'll make sure it's corrected.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
The court will run this concurrent with 2020 CR 9886, 9885, 9884, 9883, 9882, 9881, 9888. Court will take in consideration 2020 CR 9887, 9889, 9890, 9891, 9892, JN numbers 1981762, 1984925, and there's to be no contact with the complainant. And the court will note for the record in reviewing the PSI report, no complainant stated or provided any restitution.
Yes, Judge.
All right, and there's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. And I'll ask that he be placed in the mental health unit in the therapeutic community. I have no jurisdiction to force them to place you in that, but you're gonna have to ask for it, and they'll see that in the court's order that I'm requesting that for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, in that case, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And the cause number ended in 9881. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, plus credit for any time served at state hospital. I'm going to request the therapeutic community and mental health unit. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 9886. 85, I'm sorry, 9885, 9884, 9883, 9882, 9888, 9880, taking consideration 2020 CR 9887, 9889, 9890, 9891, 9892, JN numbers 1981762, 1984925. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Which one of the cases she's talking
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And that admonishment I've just given you goes for all of these cases. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the cause number ended in 9882. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, plus credit for any time served at state hospital. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 9886, 85, 84, 83, 88, 81, 80, taking consideration 2020 CR 9887, 89, 90, 91, 92, JN number 1981762, 1984925. And no contact with the complainant. And in cause number ending in 81, there's to be no contact with the complainant. And that cause number, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. And cause number 83. Will follow your agreement. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. 20 years in the prison. Credit for any time served. Credit for any time served at the state hospital. I'll request the therapeutic community mental health unit. No contact with the complainant. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 9886, 85, 84, 88, 82, 81, 80, taking consideration 2020 CR 9887, 89, 90, 91, 92, JN number 1981762, 1984925. And that cause number, did you, I'm sorry. And yes, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Going to move on to 9884. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served, credit for any time served in state hospital. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Court will request the therapeutic community mental health unit. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 9886, 85, 88, 83, 82, 81, 80, taking consideration 2020 CR 9887, 89, 90, 91, 92, JN numbers 1981762, 1984925. And that cause number, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. The court is proceeding in a cause number ending in 85. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served, credit for any time served at the state hospital. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The court will request the therapeutic community mental health unit. There should be no contact with the complainants. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 9886, 88, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, taking consideration 2020 CR 9887, 89, 90, 91, 92, JN numbers 1981762, 1984925. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Court is proceeding and the cause number ending in 9886. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, credit for any time served at the state hospital. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Court will request the therapeutic community mental health unit. Taking in consideration 2020 CR 9888 I'm sorry, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80. Taking consideration 2020 CR 9887, 89, 90, 91, 92, JN number 1981762, 1984925, and there should be no contact with the complainants. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Court is going to proceed in 9888. Court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. Credit for any time served in the state hospital. There's to be no contact with the complainants. Court will request the therapeutic community mental health unit. Take in consideration 2020 CR 9886, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80. Take in consideration 2020 CR 9887, 89, 90, 91, 92, JN number 1981762, 1984925. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. It's so easy, I understand, to become institutionalized when you're in the prison. Don't become institutionalized. And if you have issues with your medication, you need to let them know. And your sister is going to have to be the one to write to the prison if they aren't giving you a proper medication. I say prison is like when you have relatives who go see a doctor, they need somebody to advocate for them, advocate for their mental health, advocate, right? So she's going to have to advocate for you. I'm not allowed to advocate for you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When you are released from prison, try to do better. You understand? And when you're released, if for some reason you can't find mental health treatment, if I'm still here, you can come back here and I will direct you, okay?
Thank you. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Good luck to you, okay?
Good, thank you.
Judge, there were some dismissals.
I've signed them. So,
I just want to make sure he gets his copy.
oh,
of those.
the state has them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Josh, I'll get your copy. Please. May Sarah be excused, Judge, from
Yes.
Zoom?
Thank you so much for coming in. You may be
Thank
excused.
you. Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't know what order you're going in, but I have one more up there.
Oh, yeah, it's coming next. Just let me put these in here.
I've got nowhere to go but here.
Okay. Nathan Montoya. All right, who's here for Nathan Montoya? Montoya, come down. All right, so in this case, where are we on discovery?
That is the first setting. I spoke with the state. I need to bring them a thumb drive tomorrow.
Okay.
They can download the discovery for me. Also, I think we have an agreement on CPS records.
All right,
Court needs to review and sign. But I'll be in court tomorrow again. I told the state I'll bring a thumb drive in the morning.
all right. Ms. Ferguson, on this case, I need a 45-day reset for discovery, and it's Nathan Montoya.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
17? 7, it's fine.
All right, so we'll see you back on November 7th.
Thanks, Judge.
You have any questions?
Nothing. No.
All right, thank you.
We'll chat. Once I get to the discovery review, you can find two parts.
All right, Deputy Laura, what page is Montoya on? All right, thanks. Jose Manjoyas. All right, where are we on discovery?
Judge, this is an MTR. He confirmed with the state this morning. We were previously set about a week and a half ago on this MTR. The state has talked to the complainants on the new number 1. Mr. Manjares does have a case in Wilson County that I've been conferring with his defense counsel down there. Myself, along with the state this morning, have sent an email to that defense counsel in Wilson County advising them what we're doing here in the hopes that he can give that email to Wilson County DA's office to resolve this MTR and get rid of that case down there so that he can go to inpatient treatment, which is the plan for everyone.
That's the plan?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So when are you all speaking with them?
I sent them an email. Daniel sent them an email just now. I'm just gonna ask for like a week and a half for him to reach out to the defense counsel down there to reach out to the DA's office down there, and hopefully we can get that resolved.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall it for the 26th of September. I'm sure they'll be able to reach out to them.
Okay.
All right, if not, you all can pick up the phone and call down there.
Okay, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Manjares, we're coming back on September 26th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Oh, you're welcome.
How did he feel?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Just. How are you? Oh, yeah. I have a. There's a delay. Let me go take care of it. I'll be back. Good morning. Oh. Hey, Judge.
Yes.
I'm here. I've been juvenile and I'm all over the place. So they're bringing up my client, but I think they have a full box right now, literally. So I'm gonna run to the 290 and see if I can knock that one out. I'll be back.
All right, thank you. Guillermo Camacho. All right, this is a motion to revoke. Are you all ready?
We are.
All right, can I have a file stamp for a motion to revoke, please? Thank you. Court is calling 2022 CR 6642, State of Texas versus Guillermo Camacho. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar with the state of Texas.
Defense.
Kathy Compton for Mr. Camacho.
And are you Mr. Camacho?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Guillermo Camacho who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 6642 for the offense of possession of controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on May 1st, 2023 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
ma'am.
All right, state.
Violating condition number 41 on or about the 50th of February 2024 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Guillermo Camacho, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of felony drug court, in that the defendant absconded from Lifetime Recovery Treatment Center in violation of condition number 41.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 41, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 4 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 41? Court will find violation of condition number 41 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Judge. It's state ISF substance abuse track followed by ISP and moral recognition therapy.
All right. And this is what you are requesting from the court?
Yes, Your Honor. It's what my client wants and what he believes that he needs. And the recommendation of the Community Supervision Department, I believe, notes that in their recommendation for ISF is that he just needs a structured environment, because that he was not able to comply with a less structured environment.
All right. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and request a therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, you do have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. Felony drug court is a good program. They put you in lifetime recovery. You left lifetime recovery,
Yes, ma'am.
and this is not your first motion to revoke with the court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you had better be serious about getting clean and sober. Otherwise, you're gonna be back here for the same thing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. John Roberson. All right, and good morning. And this case was an offer tender.
Not yet, Your Honor. We're still awaiting discovery from the state, specifically the blood discovery.
All right, where are we on blood discovery, state? When do you expect to have it?
60 to 90 days, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't know this specifically. I'm just vaguely aware that the Texas Department of Public Safety processes these requests in a time frame of between 60 and 90 days.
All right, so I know the order was previously signed, then it got lost somewhere and the court had to re-sign it. So Norma, call this for the end of October. All right, we'll be back on Halloween.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused. You're welcome.
Great.
And Deputy Laura, what page? Oh. Diamond Ashley Garcia. Diamond Ashley Garcia,
Yes, Your Honor.
is this on the docket today?
This is.
All right, where is she?
She's in jail, Judge.
All right, they have to bring her out.
We haven't been able to figure out because we haven't been able to find the file, but it is filed.
All right, no, just request for her to be brought out. Jose Ledesma. Court is calling 2024 CR 0073665, State of Texas versus Jose Ledesma. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Salem.
Defense
James Sochi for Mr. Ledesma.
and probation. This is an application. All right, counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ledesma, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ledesma, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Ledesma, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's $1,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
No.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. There be a TAP evaluation. They're requesting electronic monitoring as opposed to Bear County Jail. Is that correct?
They are, Judge, and I was gonna address that with the court. I really don't know how the court would like to.
Okay, well, I'm just asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
DWI intervention, victim impact panel, ignition interlock for half the term, 2-year driver's license suspension. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We're prepared for that, Judge. Yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
A couple of things, and I know the state's gone, and I forgot to mention this to Mr. Edelman, but one thing I do want to address, even though it is part of the agreement, was the fine.
Court normally probates that.
Okay, then I'll kind of end with that. The only other thing, Judge, is I don't know how we can handle the sanction that the court, I believe, is about to impose. He does work, he works daily, he's a Mason, and he's fine with the GPS recommendation. I just don't know how that will look or work, but as long as he can somehow stay out and keep working, that's vital to him, Judge.
All right, do you have any children?
No.
Who do you live with?
My mother.
All right. And what are your work hours?
I get picked up at 6 in the morning and I get dropped off between about 4:30, 5 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, I'll be home.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. Probation, there's to be a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll begin with intensive outpatient treatment. If they recommend outpatient treatment, we're doing intensive outpatient treatment. DWI intervention course, VIP, ignition interlock for half the term, a referral to felony drug court, 2 years driver's license suspension, There's gonna be 30 days partial GPS. For employment only. Is your client able to afford the GPS device for 30 days?
I'd ask the court, no, ma'am, I'd ask the court to waive those fees, please.
Well, what will end up happening is he'll need to be taken into custody to do it at the jail.
Today,
I mean, I could do it for tomorrow.
um. hmm. Does the answer change if he pays for it? I kind of got the impression.
No, if he pays for it, then there's no need to send him to the Bear County Jail. But the GPS, the free GPS, it's through the Bear County Jail.
It's about $300.
All right, there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits, one time per month for 3 months, then at probation's discretion. And there's to be 120 sober meetings and 120 days. And probation, how much time does he need in order to have the GPS placed?
Typically does, we say 30 days, but 15 days.
All right, so GPS, you need to have that within 15 days. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court? All right, and let me explain to you. There's a request for, well, nobody requested community service hours. I usually give community service hours, but because I'm asking for the 120 sober meetings in 120 days, and because of your work schedule, I'm not going to ask for community service hours. Do you understand? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're one of those people, you can't drink and drive because you don't know when to stop drinking. Your body doesn't let you stop drinking. All you have to do, and I tell people this all the time, all you have to do is to have a designated driver. You know, I have yet to see, well, sometimes it happens where people are charged with public intoxication, but I have yet to see a sober person driving and the passenger maybe, you know, in the back seat or front seat is intoxicated, where the police will pull them over and say, hey, passenger, you got a designated driver, but we're still going to arrest you. You got to get control of it, because at the end of the day, you had this accident and they said it was a minor accident, just you by yourself. You could have easily killed somebody. And then this would have been a completely different story. You would have been crying. Your family would have came in crying, asking for mercy. Don't be that person who ends up killing someone because you want to have a drink and you don't, and you can't stop. You understand? All right. If there's anything that you need from the court, let probation know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
What if the drunk passenger has warrants?
Ah, that has happened.
Lots of times.
Yeah, I've seen some of your clients.
Bag of cocaine in the front pocket.
Oh, let's not do that.
I'm saying.
John, are you okay for another probation?
Yes, Judge.
Court is calling 2024 CR 008370, State of Texas versus Ricky Pardo.
Present, Your Honor.
Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Harris Edelman.
Defense?
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Pardo.
And are you Mr. Pardo?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Pardo, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all applying for deferred or no?
No, just regular probation.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Pardo, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with injury to the child or elderly or disabled with bodily injury as a third-degree felony?
Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he is currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Do you believe he's currently competent and sane at the time of the offense?
Mr. Pardo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the document and off the record for a moment? Excuse me, everyone who's behind the court reporter. Y'all need to be quiet because we're on the record and it's making it difficult, I'm sure, for her to hear. All right, we're back on the record. State is taking in consideration 734721. There's to be restitution of $50 to Carlos Cantu. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No motions, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years and there be no contact with Carlos Cantu and 200 hours of community service restitution and a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty?
No contest.
Okay. State, any evidence?
Standing exhibit 1 attachments, Your Honor.
We reviewed that, Your Honor. We have no objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence dates, one in attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We're just asking the court to abide by the plea agreement, Your Honor. We've agreed to 6 years probation. We think it's appropriate. As far as maybe the community service, are you working right now, sir?
I don't work.
He's working right now. He's looking forward to going back to work. I don't know if there's anything the judge could, the court could do to maybe probate some of that community service.
I can do it.
All right, how old are you?
44, man.
So what bar was this? What's the name of the bar?
CNL.
I'm sorry, what?
CNL.
C&L?
Yeah, it's right there on Freeway and Brazos.
All right, why were you taking a machete to a bar?
I didn't have no machete, man.
No, the police report says that you
I
were
went
in
to-
possession of a machete. They're not saying you used it.
Oh, no, I didn't have, I went to the hospital that day on May 19, I got locked up.
No, this is what it says. It says additionally, victim stated that during that incident, you were also in possession of a machete. And then they said that they've had problems with you in the past. And then they asked you to leave because the bar was closing. And then you started pouring gasoline on the patio, threatening to burn the bar down. And then you ended up hitting the complainant with a pool stick. And then said that you're going to go back to the complainant's residence and burn the house down.
Oh, man.
And then the police found you at the complainant's residence.
They were renting a room for me. I was at home when I got beat up. That same night I got locked up. I went to the hospital because I got beat
Well,
up.
here's the thing. Are you saying that none of this is true? Because if it's not, if you want a jury trial, we'll.
No, that's true. You're right there, man.
All right, so why are you pretending like it's not true? So I'm trying to figure out what conditions to set for you. Did you have mental health issues? Were you highly intoxicated? You're at a bar.
I just don't remember too much of it.
All right, do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
4.
What are their ages?
The youngest is 7, the oldest is 14.
All right, when is the last time you saw your children?
It's been a while.
All right, so how often have you used drugs in the past?
I just drink.
All right.
Yeah, I just drink, man.
All right. And where were you employed?
Self-employed. I work for some guy named Ed Bishop.
Doing what?
Self-employed. Landscape.
Okay. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 6 years, $2,000 fine, probated. Take in consideration 734721, restitution of $50 to Carlos Cantu, no contact with Carlos Cantu, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, TAP evaluation in custody, follow recommendations. MIC evaluation. If the TAP evaluation is done before the MIC evaluation, the MIC evaluation can be done out of custody. They're telling me it's taking 2 weeks for TAP. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to order 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm also going to order parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And there's to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Probation, is there anything else that he needs? Is there anything else that you need from the court to be successful?
When I be released, I can go back to work.
All right, you'll have to talk with probation about that. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
That's it. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, here's the thing. You're one of those people who cannot drink, so do not drink, and you're not allowed to drink while you are on probation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Michael EU. Yes, have it.
And his name is misspelled, it should be Fugu.
Ugu, okay. All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, I was just retaining the client notice of appearance was just accepted earlier today, so.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a 30-day reset on this, please, for discovery. And what page is he on? All right, thank you. And is the other case still outstanding?
The misdemeanor judge or the felon?
The felony?
No,
Okay, that's been taken care of?
he's on probation, yes, Judge.
All right. All right, we're gonna come back on October 24th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
And may we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. 200. That's the guy with the machete, correct? 200. Diamond Ashley Garcia.
We don't have space for her, Judge.
Okay, we'll do that. All right, who's here on Tamar McIntyre? Are you all ready?
Yes.
Good morning. Oh, if y'all are not.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so what are we here for today?
We're here, Your Honor. We came by informally a few weeks ago to let you know about a discovery issue that had come up, and you
Yes.
had advised that we should come back today to talk
Yes.
about scheduling.
All right, what's the discovery issue?
It came to our attention that there was a gun seized from a co-defendant in the case up in the Fort Worth area that had never been ballistics tested at any
Okay.
point. And that's very significant based upon the pattern of the case. We advised Mr. Garahan of that. And I believe Mr. Garahan says that the gun was actually at some point in the past routed to San Antonio and was in Bexar County's possession. It has now been ballistics tested. He advised that he's uploaded this to e-discovery. Parallel to this, we've had a slightly different problem. This is an old case.
Okay, why do you come to me with problems?
Well, you know,
Well, that's
See,
probably,
that's why I need to talk to you. You never come with problems.
I actually, that's why I would never qualify to be a judge. I don't like having to make decisions.
It's so much easier to complain about things, Your Honor, than to make decisions. So I don't envy your job.
All right, so what's your other problem or issue? Let's say issue.
The other issue is, we've had most of the discovery in this case for a long time, but there have been rolling productions of correspondence from Mr. McIntyre from the jail that are produced through e-discovery. We had kind of a breakdown with our e-discovery system. We called IT several times. No other case that my office is handling is affected by this. We've let Mr. Garahan know. We've not been able to get that fixed. So what we've done is we've tendered another external hard drive to the state. We've asked that they essentially just duplicate to where we are today to make sure that nothing has slipped through the cracks. But that does at the moment include this ballistics report. We haven't had a chance to inspect it. We would like to review it, and I expect, based on what able counsel has represented to me, or the findings of that report, that we would want it to be independently tested by an expert of our choosing. Our concern about all of this is, of course, that we're set to pick a jury on the 11th of October. We've been trying to diligently address this for some time, but it takes some time to get these things
And there's
resolved.
19,000 items
19,600 or so items.
on this.
Do we really know it's 19,000? What is the exact number?
I can give you the exact number, Judge.
Oh, I knew he would.
I can't give it, it's in my email.
It's a lot. How about that?
And most of it will be duplicative, and Jason's been excellent in giving us everything we need in this, but we just need to make sure that that correspondence from Mr. McIntyre is all of a garden variety and not significant, because there could be something important buried in it. But my bigger concern is just, I need to find a ballistic expert. I need to have them review what the crime lab here did and do their own analysis. And I don't know if I can get that done before we select a jury on our current timetable.
All right.
And I've got my problem that I mentioned.
No, you have an issue. We don't have problems.
You're right.
There are no problems.
God bless you. No, I have an issue. We've got a long planned trip with the Prados on the 28th. That it's the Monday afterwards, and this might take longer than simply.
No, it's not.
Well, if it
So
doesn't.
where are you going though?
We're going to the Hudson River Valley, which I've never been to, but my mean sister-in-law lives there. So there's a reason I haven't been there.
All right, see, so since you said with your mean sister-in-law, then there goes your alibi.
Well, my wife likes her sister. And as I told you the last time, she's very persuasive.
See, what will end up happening is something will happen. Witnesses will be called. I will be called as a witness saying, yes, he said it was his mean sister-in-law.
Well, that's true. We've been married 55 years and she has gotten better. I will say that.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna coming back here on October 10th to see where we are with all of this.
I'm sorry, which?
October 10th.
10th.
To see where we are. And between now and then, you need to come and let the court know that you found someone for ballistics.
We will do that.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, this is coming back on October 10th. All right. Is there anything else?
Are we to assume, unless otherwise
You
directed,
know what somebody said?
the 11th and
No, Sherlock Holmes, you know what he always says?
I'm
Never-
anxious to learn.
Never assume anything, my dear Watson. So we're coming back on October 10th, and you all need to let me know where you are.
We will do that.
Yes,
I look forward to it.
All right. Is there anything else?
not at this time.
Oh, Joseph States, and you always forget about Joseph States.
Yes, that's right. There is another pesky charge hanging out there.
Yes.
At least two cases, but just for Joanne Delios, will she also be here? I know these issues are not with our case.
Yes.
But will we be here also October 10th?
Well, I mean, yes, go ahead and show up on October 10th. You never know what will happen.
Okay.
So we'll be back on October 10th. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on October 10th. All right, thank you.
Thank
What
you,
happened to your neck?
Oh, incident.
Do you guys need that
It's like
address?
an issue, Yara.
Do y'all need that address with the deputy or anything?
No, ma'am. It's years old.
All right,
Thank you.
welcome. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
And what page is he on? Thank you.
I signed something. Oh, here, I'm sorry. Hold on. Signed it. I didn't. I didn't understand. Take it. No.
Priscilla Batias. I understand you have a witness.
I have one request and I do have a witness that's here.
All right. What is your request?
Well, same request I had last time. This is very convoluted, Judge, and I'm gonna try to break it down real simple.
All right, what are you asking for?
More time again. There is an inmate that I believe has a firsthand factual information about.
Who is the
incident.
inmate?
Her name is Marissa Quinones.
Who's her?
Wendy McClellan, who I have had some dialogue with, but is currently in a really, really big trial in the 399 and cannot really help. And I got to talk to Wendy to get access to the client who's currently in jail with pending charges. And it's the complaining witness's daughter who folds in to the factual background. And I do
What
think,
are they trying in the 399?
oh God, it's a intox manslaughter, ag assault, public servant.
And where are they in the trial?
They're still going in guilt innocence. I do know that. They started last week and they're still in trial and
Norma, can you find out how long they expect that trial to be in the 399? Oh, okay. Now I know what trial that is. No, Norma, that's okay. Deputy Laura has made me realize which trial that is.
It's a large case as I am.
All right, Norma, recall this for October 14th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
We'll talk with some. Can I keep that? Thanks for your mother.
All right, what page is she on?
17.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Use that last week.
See, that's a child that needs to be asleep or. All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Andre Moody? All right, Mr. Moody. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, are y'all ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have a witness? Counsel, do you have a witness or no?
Judge, I think we're gonna stipulate, we received the records and we're gonna stipulate as to what they can tell. The witness is available if need be,
Okay.
and I'm covering today for the attorney of record judge. And Mr. Moody understands that and has agreed that I can.
All right, who's the attorney of record?
Elizabeth.
All right, so here's the problem. You know, I could send him to prison. So his attorney of record probably should be here.
Right, we'll have camera pictures.
Sure.
Yeah, but we can't speak about your case because she's not gonna hear it today.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So on Thursday, okay?
So we'll come back on Thursday. And that will put us at the 26th. Okay,
All right, Judge, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
You're welcome. Norma, recall this for the 26th. All right, who's here on Jacob Rodriguez?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hello, how's it going?
Very well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Mr. Rodriguez and I are here on this MTR, Your Honor. It is his first MTR. The allegations are new number ones. There are no other allegations. I've conferred with the state. We're waiting on some discovery. If we could get a reset on it, it would be much
All right, what
appreciated.
discovery are you all awaiting?
The reports on the new cases and,
It is on Jacob Rodriguez.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was the question?
What discovery are you all awaiting?
Judge, I believe that I know that the cases happened on October 1st, I believe.
Mhm.
And it's drug cases, so the drug.
Wait, October 1st?
I'm sorry, August 1st.
All right.
2024. So those labs are not back.
When do you anticipate the labs being in?
I believe usually 3 months is most likely the outcome, if it comes back, because these are allegedly THC, so sometimes that takes a little bit longer than I guess the run of the mill, like cocaine, heroin.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, if I can have a 60-day reset, and I'll set it as a contestant and we'll see where we are.
That's fine, Judge.
And it's on Jacob Rodriguez. Just one moment. All right, November 21st.
November 21st?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, have a good one.
All right, thank you, Judge.
And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Bashan, Jacob Rodriguez, that's coming back on November 21st. And Mr. Kalfas, your client was late today. No.
I'll make sure.
All right, thank you. David Keonis.
Yes, sir.
Who's the attorney for Keonis?
Karen Ford, Your Honor.
So this is a motion to revoke?
Well, Judge, I'm requesting a reset.
Why?
You had originally ordered him into DDRF.
Mhm.
And I don't know if there was some confusion or what, but although I believe that he may have admitted to drug use and showed his willingness to do it, for whatever reason, they said he denied drug use. So what we'd like to do, Judge, is like, even though it'll probably take a while, ask if he can be re-interviewed for DDRF. He does have some mental health issues, Judge. I don't know if you can see here, but he had a bad accident.
All right, probation. Do you want him to be reconsidered?
Judge, I just need, court order indicating to get him reevaluated for DDRF.
All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2021 CR 9806, State of Texas versus David Kianis. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Adelman.
Defense?
Karen Corby, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Kianis?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and what are you requesting, defense?
We're requesting, Your Honor, that he be reevaluated for DDRF. That was your original order. And I'm not sure what happened there, but I do think that he is willing and motivated to go there and get the help that he needs. And I'd like him to take another, I'd like him to be reconsidered so he can go there.
All right, so the reason why, so the record can be clear, that he was denied DDRF is because he denied drug use. So with that being said, as you know, legally, there's a limited amount of time where someone can be held in custody, awaiting for transfer for treatment. So are you waiving those issues?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Then probation, we'll re-refer him to DDRF.
Okay, Judge, so with the outstanding NTR,
Do y'all wish to withdraw?
Yes, please.
No, I know you say yes, please. State, did y'all discuss whether or not to withdraw the MTR?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. So all right. We're back on the record. Then state you're withdrawing the motion and he's to be re-referred to DDRF.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kianis, if you're not honest with the evaluators, we're going to be right back here. You understand?
I understand.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, please.
Yes. Deputy Laura, what page is Mr. Kianis on? Thank you. Who's here on Hung? Yes. That's where we're on discovery.
No, I have the discovery. We have a plea worked out. I'm just asking if we can come back tomorrow. I have a conflict for this afternoon. So I'm just asking if we can bring it back tomorrow for a plea.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Hung is going to come back tomorrow for disposition.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Diamond? And then after this, we're going on recess. Deputy Laura, what page is Hung on? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, where are we on this case?
General, we appeared today and these officers is unable to locate their file. We've been waiting for it for about 2 hours.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall it for Thursday. State, you either need to find the file or duplicate it.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you back on Thursday, okay?
Thank you.
Garcia?
All right, we're taking our recess. Yes.